So a cool thing to do in a parkour game is to create checkpoints so that as players complete certain stages of the course, if they die, they don't have to go all the way back to the beginning, because sometimes that can get frustrating to play the beginning over and over and over again. So to do that, you're going to use /spawn point, which is one of the slash commands. So you want to pick a point partway through your course. So for me, I've got this first little section here, then it comes up to this island, and it continues on a little bit more difficult with just single blocks. So I want to put a checkpoint right here in the middle. So I'm going to use a command block for that. If you don't have a command block in your inventory, the way you get one is type in /give, and then you can put in @s for yourself and type in command_block. Now, you could just place this right on the ground. I normally like to kind of bury them so you don't see them in the game. If you just put it at the surface, you could cover it with a pressure plate, but I feel like you can still sort of see it there. You can actually place command blocks and then cover them with another block, and they'll still function. I'm going to place a pressure plate on the top. If I want to hide a pressure plate, I try to use a pressure plate that's the same material as the block it's on. In this case, I might actually want the players to kind of see it to make sure they hit the checkpoint. So I'll grab a maybe a different wood color pressure plate, maybe a bright wood, and maybe use that one instead, just so it's a little bit more obvious to the players. Now for the slash command, all we would type in is /spawn point, and you want to do that for the nearest player, so @p, that would hopefully be the person who stepped on the pressure plate, and then you need to type in the coordinates. So to get that, I would want to pick a place where I want them to spawn. I could have them respawn right here on top of the pressure plate. I think I'll actually have them respawn maybe at the top of the stairs. So we'll click right here, and we're looking for the coordinates, which it says are 135, 105, -214. And we're going to type those in. 135, 105, -214. So that will reset the player's spawn point. So let's test this out. First of all, I'm going to make this the initial spawn point for the world. So I'm going to do that by typing in /set world spawn. So this is where players will spawn into the game. And right now, if I die, let's go ahead and set that as my spawn point just in case. Spawn point. Alright, so that's my spawn point as well. And now, let's put myself on survival mode. Or actually, I like adventure mode. That will prevent players from placing any blocks or destroying any blocks, especially for a parkour game. You don't really want them to be able to add blocks or remove blocks. And I'll just do @s for myself. So now I'm on adventure mode. I actually made some of these jumps a little bit challenging, so I put in a command block to give us a speed effect for a certain amount of time. So we'll go ahead and try to get through this first part. And I died. So you see I respawn back on the island. Try it again. And I made it to the pressure plate. This time, if I die on one of these portions and respawn, we'll see that I'm at the top of the stairs, ready to try out the second stage without having to redo the first stage. So that is how you could reset a spawn point in your game. So again, it's pretty simple. Just a single command block with resetting their spawn point to a certain coordinate, and then a pressure plate on top. So when they bump that, it'll reset their spawn point.